Good Saturday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV. Wow. Oh my goodness gracious. The love of the music, right? Hey, good Saturday morning there. Those that watch my channel every day. I am getting ready to run up to Panera, get some coffee, and get some ice cold, I should say, get some oatmeal and ice cold coffee just to get up the road to change up a little bit, because when I'm up north I don't usually go out for breakfast, so just kind of changing up. And good morning to all those that watch my channel. And you know, borderline, was gonna make a video this morning? No, I wasn't. You know, I just like to talk and continue to keep talking to my subscribers that are on the channel, and just talk about things, and that's kind of who I am. And wow, all I can say from yesterday is what a day. We went out in that boat. We spent a good portion of the day. Until you're down here in this sun, down here in Florida, especially the water, that'll just kick your butt. That sun, I mean, it is just so hot, and I know how to dress. Daughter got burned up. Her legs, they're red as can be. So it was my brother and my daughter and I and my dad stayed home just to kind of watch my mother. And plus we had a person coming by to do an evaluation on my mother to see what other good things could be done for her with the outside help, which that was a great thing to see happen yesterday, which I feel like I kind of helped create that from me going with her to her primary care. When you're taking care of your older parents, people know, you know, it's very, very challenging. It becomes a very challenging issue in the family, and here they are. He's in the pod, coming back, I think. Yep, here they are. Speak of the devils. So, yeah, for anybody out there that's has parents or had parents that get into deteriorating conditions, you know, it's very challenging. And it costs money, it costs time, and then if you don't have somebody that's really has the time of a family member to really take care of one of your parents, it's, you know, it's even more challenging. And for the moment, my one sister just happened to retire about the time that the health of my mother really started to deteriorate more so than ever, and so she's helped out tremendously, but she's getting worn out. So it's a challenge down here of emotional and physical, and then just the family with the different personalities of my brother and my two sisters. And then for me, I'm down here, really staying down here as long as I can, just to try to help out as much as I can. And that's why the channel, I'm now over 2 weeks, and I really want to stay this coming week. How long we can get through this week, I don't know yet. Do we head back Wednesday, Thursday? I just don't know yet. We'll have to just kind of see what's going on down here, what's going up north, and that's what really is what it's more about, is just managing things. But the point is, having to take care of your older parents, it becomes very challenging. And now my dad, his right knee is now giving him a lot of problems. So this just literally happened here just basically the night before. So yesterday, the night before, he really is struggling now with his right knee, and he's had knee surgery on his knees. So we've been down here one summer. I mean, this is no lie. I bought that boat, Scout boat, in the spring of 2017, brought it down here and had a great time for the summer 2017. And then the following year, it was just like Murphy's Law. The following summer, we barely used that boat because my dad had major knee issues. And then my brother, borderline, he had a cracked eye. He borderline had a detached retina, and so he went through all the eye treatment, and for him, he could not really have his head bobble around for a good month because of that fractured eye, and he had to have a belt put around it. So the whole summer of 2018, my daughter and I, we came down here, and we literally just were kind of glued to just being at the house. And back at that time, my daughter wasn't riding motorcycles, So she wasn't even on the back of a motorcycle. So it was just a very, in so many ways, boring, quiet summer because we really couldn't do much besides babysit my dad and to a degree my brother. Yeah, my brother had to lay down on his face. I mean, people that know these things that happen to you medically is just incredible. But what's even more incredible is how to a T. So I spent the summer, and I'm not embellishing here, driving my brother down to different eye doctors. I got to know the different eye doctors and healthcare facilities. My dad's knee surgery. I mean, oh my gosh. But here's what's so incredible. What are the odds a year later, close to a year later to the date, June of 2019, right after my daughter got out of school, we drive down here, and I have my, I'm trying to remember if I had my truck and trailer. I don't think I did. It's just, my mind's going blank right now. But as I'm driving down Route 95, my left eye starts clouding up. And it's the shadow effect. And anybody here knows about detached retinas or a injured retina, whatever you want to say. So my left eye starts going blind. And I'm like, what the heck? As I'm like halfway down 95, where I'm now basically like 6 hours from home to turn around, or I'm basically like 6-7 hours to keep on going. So, but now I'm thinking to myself, the day before we left, I did a lot of heavy spraying of that total vegetation killer. And I remember some of that stuff just floating around and kind of getting maybe in my eyes. And so I really started thinking, wow, maybe that stuff got in my eyes. Well, we pull over at the truck stop, and we go looking for a eye wash thing. You know, something to give some power. So I went to this truck stop. It took forever for us to find in the back shop, for us to go find a power wash type of, emergency type of thing to clean your eye. So I used that, and hoping that would hopefully maybe clean out my eye or something, but nothing. So now I'm calling my wife, and I call my mom, and my wife's like, you're already close to Florida, and don't you know eye doctors down there and specialize in this stuff? And I was like, yeah, you're kind of right on that. So believe it or not, I called the eye doctor down here in Florida, and they had an appointment for me 8 a.m. the next morning. So that's how fast they could see me. Versus up north, I didn't even know who to call. So I just kept on driving, but I was very concerned because I'm now going to be driving at nighttime, and my daughter wasn't of age to drive. So I was all on my own and just hoping, and my right eye, believe it or not, is my weaker driving eye. My left eye is my stronger driving eye. Because I've got the screwed up vision where one eye is farsighted and one eye is nearsighted. Yeah, that's the fact. So my two eyes are totally different. And so anyways, so the point of that is I come down here to have vacation, to have fun and go swimming and everything. And I'm thinking, holy crow, and go boating and all that good stuff. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Am I going to be able to freaking do any stuff because now I have a detached retina, or I have a ruptured retina. Oh my gosh, what incredible! But the thing is, I went to the doctor next morning, and he looked at my eyes like, okay, it's not ruptured, it's probably going to heal, but let's give it about 3-4 days, and I may have to do laser surgery on you to fix it. And so I came back like that, I believe Friday, and he made the decision to do laser surgery. And instantly, he fixed my eye, and I'm like, can I swim? He's like, yep. Can you go boating? He's like, yep. He's like, you're done. You're fixed. I'm like, what? So that was so awesome. All right, let me get my coffee, and I'll be back in a second. Wow, I haven't gotten an iced coffee in ages. Actually, it's pretty good. After being in that sun all day yesterday, it's kind of like, it's the cool down factor. And what's really, I thought it was going to be a major issue is my iPhone here got water in it coming back in. We got rained on coming back in, and I couldn't charge this thing last night, so I left it off the charger. And fortunately, the phone has dried out the port. Who doesn't know these stories? And now it's finally charging again and communicate with my truck. So anyways, so it's always adventures in life for all of us. And I'm just sharing my own personal stories. I'm sure others can relate to this. But back to the ruptured retina, that was a major challenge, being that the summer before, it was all about my brother's eye, and a year later, it happens to me. Now, they think that the way I ruptured my retina was I had a huge sneeze. I mean, I'm not lying to you. They claim it. If you cough too hard, you have a huge sneeze, even something, you bump your head, you can have a possible ruptured retina. And for anybody out there who never has had one, it's very, very, very important that if your eye gets that shadow, it's like a curtain comes across your eye. You start seeing light and all these. There are a lot of different scenarios. It's very, very important that you get your eye looked at as fast as possible, because if you have a detached retina and it's detached for too long, actually you will lose your vision in your eye. So it can turn into an emergency room visit if, once again, you need to do your own research. But here's what's crazy. This last weekend, last Friday, when I took my dad for his hearing aid evaluation to get hearing aids, and he was in there quite a while. I was walking around Costco. What's the odds of meeting a guy that's relatively the same age as me? And he's there selling coffee. He's doing the coffee tasting for a company, and he's wanting you to buy the coffee. So he's sitting there, and we start talking with one another. Really cool guy. But what's the odds of this guy? I kind of ask him, what are you, retired? And this is now what you're doing. And then he goes into his whole story about getting divorced and blah, 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 and this and that. I mean, he seems to be okay financially. But then it turned into conversation that he has no vision in his right eye. But you could never tell that by looking at him. You would never know he's blind in his right eye. And so we started talking, and he brought up that he never knew when you saw these funky things going on in your eye, and then you had like the curtain happen. He never knew. This blows me away. That was a critical time in his life to have his eye looked at. So he never went to the doctor and had his eye looked out or anything for a month later. And by that time, it was too late. And to this day, he's like, I can't believe I didn't go to the doctor sooner. I'm like, didn't your wife or your friends or anybody let you know? And he's like, well, they were telling me it's important to go look at, but he didn't really. So, wow. When you hear these type of stories in today's world of the healthcare and all the resources you have to go to the internet, but then just friends and family. I mean, so once again, anybody out there that knows somebody that has a ruptured retina, or you lose vision in your eye, it's critical you get to an eye doctor as soon as possible. And so for me, I was on the road, and I just ran the gamble that hopefully by the next morning they'd look at it and it wasn't a detached retina. So I was blessed in that fact. But here's the thing. What's so crazy is that was 2019. A year later, I was out doing a job in like November of 2020. Is that right? So see, what's really interesting here is, no, I guess, no, it was actually, that happened like in June of 2019, and then November of 2019, I strained it again. I literally borderline ruptured it again. And so I was so mad because Julie and I were going to Tennessee to go four-wheeling in the Smoky Mountains and go to some state parks and get some really fun four-wheeling time down there, because we're going down there for Thanksgiving down there in Johnson City, Bristol area. And so I'm just like, I can't believe I did this. But I injured myself doing a very strenuous, too much heavy-duty labor on the job in my business. And so, anyways, I go see a doctor, and they're like, yeah, you've actually basically re-ruptured your retina in your eye again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, let me pull this little green button here. And so anyways, I was so aggravated about that. And I'm like, well, what can happen? And they're like, well, it's not as severe as your last one was, and it may just heal on its own. And so I'm like, okay. So now they're like, just don't do any real radical type of, physical exercise or jumping up and down. You know what? I was so mad about that. I went to Tennessee, went four-wheeling. Yeah, bouncing up and down, blasting the back route. I was just fuming about how I did it again. But I felt this time that it wasn't as radical as the last time. But anyways, back to the conversation here about care of your parents. And anybody out there that's watched my channel, I can certainly, I'm sure there's somebody out there that can relate with the huge challenge of the elderly in our society more than ever today, where people are living longer, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're in better condition. So for people that maybe are living in their 90s, doesn't maybe mean that they're still up and running around, but they're just living longer. But what comes with that is total 24/7 care. And that's really where it's gone for me and my family. And it's extremely challenging because of my mother does not want to go to assisted living. I mean, we don't want her to go there. She doesn't want to go to a nursing home. They just don't want to go there. We're just not there. But now I'm very concerned about my dad's knee and capability of getting around. It's just like, oh my God, it doesn't end when your parents progress. And so now I'm very concerned about my father's knee, his capability of getting around. So I bought him a knee brace yesterday, but apparently that one he doesn't like, and I'm going to go get him another one this morning. And he gets around, don't get me wrong, but it's just it's not the best of circumstances. And what's disappointing is I was really wanting to leave here with my mother having more help and care to help out my sister and brother and other sister and my dad, and for my father, to be in good health as well before we depart. So but as you know, every day is a new day. And once again, just want to reach out and share stories, and that's all it is. And what's interesting here is, what is the birds? We've got the birds among us. My neighbor's back, so I don't have the luxury of parking in that driveway. And somebody's watched my channel and saying, it seems like you got a bunch of scratches on the fender of your rear on your truck. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure I do. It's a truck. I mean, it's black. It's going to show every freaking thing that you can possibly see. So yeah, it probably does have scratches down the side of it. We'll look together here as I get out. I don't know if you can see it as well. Is that a scratch? Yeah, see that? Nah, no, that's just surface things. So, nah, I mean, I don't, hey, it's a truck. You know what I did? This is no lie. Look what I did to the back of my tailgate. So in this truck, because I haven't driven this truck a lot. This is the most I've driven this truck since I bought it. I never knew where the rear release to the tailgate was. On most other vehicles, you have a button on the left side of the steering wheel to hit the tailgate to pop down if you wanted to remotely do that. It's up here. It's up there. So the other day, I by accident hit that when the truck was connected to the trailer. Guess what happened? It fell down on that frickin' stupid ass, where you raise and lower the trailer. So, of course, it goes down all by itself. It's too late. You can't retract it. And bink. Yeah. Anybody know these stories? Worried about your car getting dinged or dented by somebody else? Or only you do it yourself. So, and we got the bikes in here. Get my phone out. I got a lot going on here. It's personal. Too close to the face. The kid's like, Dad, go to the gym in a few minutes. Don't park behind me. So guess what I got to do now? I got to repark the truck because the kid wants to go to the gym. Yeah, it's never any adventures, right? Yeah, I hear you. As you watch my video now for what, right? As the car is trashed. The Charger is trashed. I don't even understand what that is. Why it's that type of water, like the city water has been on it or something. Oh my goodness gracious, right? The intelligence conversations, I do these morning conversations, and I've talked about this the other day. It just seems like the morning conversations have definitely lost their momentum. And whatever. It is what it is. As a YouTuber, I just continue to like to talk, as you can tell. But yeah, morning conversations definitely just have lost their whole it just has lost its whole, I mean, it's got like a good sometimes 300, 400, 500 views. Now it's in the 100, maybe 200 range. But I get it. It's if I'm not scaring the hell out of you, it's mundane conversations, right? And here's out of the garage. You'll see my dad when I catch him with all my goodies in my hand, and see if he has his knee brace on. He does. And what is he getting? It's hard to say. No, he's running away from me. I just wanted to show you the bikes this morning because guess what? You haven't seen the bikes because I had to go get my practice. And how we get all these things home? Look at this here. Look. You would think that the paint is destroyed. And it's like a salt type of coating. Man, yeah, unbelievable. This car is just getting trashed like you can't believe. Yeah, how we get all these things home? I don't know. I'm going to go to Harley dealer this morning, I think, and get those new bars. You know, it's always a project, always the fun. And, yeah, what do I buy, right? I tried to buy a Fat Bob the other day, just about got it done. Did you hear me? How about lying? We ran a Fat... they got like a freshly used Fat Bob, which I've wanted to buy over the years. And I just about got the deal done. So then we would have 2 Harley purchases down here. Yeah, knowing me, do I still try to do that? It's a 2022 Fat Bob with 389 miles on it. I mean, and they don't make them anymore. And so, yeah. Oh my gosh, it doesn't end. Right? Having to buy something else, and for what? If I did that, definitely there's something. So that's it, everybody. Just wanted to share some stories of the commitment of taking care of your parents and family. And that's what I was saying in the beginning is it's 2018, right after I bought that boat. We literally spent the summer of just taking care of my brother and dad. And that's, you know, that's what life's all about. But it was definitely a summer of like, oh man, yeah. And it rained a lot too. It was just incredible. It was just kind of a mundane summer. That's life. So as always, hope everybody has a blessed Saturday. And what are we doing today? What populace? So I get some riding time? I think we will. Maybe we should get some video of the kid riding a Harley out on the near the waterways and get some pretty pictures of that. So stay tuned. Have a great day. God bless.